Okay. Okay. Um, I am back now. And we hopefully can go ahead and, read this thing. I don't. Let's just leave the microphone like that, okay? I have a good microphone, but not a stand for it, so it's sitting in a vase. The best place to put your microphones, as so many people have told me. I get the impression that normally that the microphone is picking up way more than I want it to, but that's fine. That's fine. We can deal with that. How's everybody's day going? We're all alive, doing normal human and or troll and or good carapacian things. I don't know what you got going on. Well then, let's do some reading. Your words destroyed my planet. Chapter 2, Ship is Sinking. it, it really hurts you to see Solak so badly hurt. And what's worse is that it's one of your other friends who's done it to him. You like Aradia. She's always fun and adventurous. You thought that she was that free-spirited, upbeat, and almost zen calm that Solak's really needed in his life. They were two dorky nerds in pity with each other, or so you'd thought. You suppose that both you and Solux were mistaken there. It's hard to even be angry at Aradia. It's not as if she deliberately hurt Solux. But the fact is that he's still devastated no matter what she intended. It's not like Solux is blameless either with that dumb stunt, but he sure as shit didn't deserve this. It's clearly a bigger issue revealed by a stupid mistake. You're rubbing your temples as you walk into your respite block. Gamgee looks over at you from your bed as you backhand the button to shut the door behind you and go back to trying to fix this building stress headache. Don't worry yourself about it, Gamgee advises, holding out a hand to you. That's not really an option here. I need to fix this. You sigh and cross your messy respite block to get to the bed. Gamgee holds his arm up with the edge of the covers, excuse me, in his hand, so it's easy for you to slide it under them with him. It ain't your problem. This was between him and her, Gamgee says, dragging you closer. It's past that. He can't go back there, and I don't know if you want it, and I know you don't want him here, you point out. Gamgee's breathing is controlled and stiff for a moment, before he relaxes into a shrug, pretending that he doesn't care. You're not dumb enough to believe that. I'm not about to tell you that you can't have him here, Gamgee says casually. Yeah, because Solix is your best friend, and you're not kicking him out to appease Gamgee. Gamgee demanding that of you would be one hell of a fight, and despite what most people say about him, your Moirail isn't stupid. So, I need to find somewhere for him, so this is my problem too, you explain. Gamgee makes a noise of vague agreement and hauls you over so you're sprawled across his chest. His hands stroke absently down your back, and despite the stress, it is soothing you at least a little. I just don't understand how it happened. They always seem so happy, right? You ask him. Never heard her say much bad about him at work, Gamgee agrees. His job puts him in contact with Aradia whenever your ship gets to a planet where she can be useful. You know they're part of the same social group, but then so is Dave, and you're pretty sure that Dave never willingly hangs out with Gamzee. You had to endure enough of that particular mutual dislike when you were all at school. At, at best, they tolerate each other now. Maybe you could ask Dave if he knows anything about what's going on with Aradia. They're pretty close as far as you know, but you can't really ask him now without spreading Solix's business around. Maybe you can pick his brains later when it's more common knowledge, assuming you can find any brains to pick. You've got favors you can call in with people at work to try and speed Solix's housing request along, but equally, you're not totally happy about him living on his own. Maybe you could see if his Lucis might take him back, and shit, no, Solix would never agree to that. You can't think of anyone else you know who's got a space for him to move in, at least not on a permanent basis anyway. Shit. Shoosh, stop worrying and sleep, Yancey reminds you. He drags a hand through your hair and presses the heel of his palm between your horns, making your mind go a little fuzzy-edged. I know, I just... You mumble. You don't really have an excuse to give him. Your Morrel sighs and rolls over. He drags you with him so he's mostly laying on top of you, his body weight like a heavy blanket to stop your anxious fidgeting. You drift into sleep like that with him weighing down your body as much as your thoughts weigh down your mind. When your alarm on your watch buzzes you awake, you find that you're in bed alone. Blearily you sit up, remember the events of last night, and take a moment to compose yourself. You have shit to get done today. You dress as quickly as you can, and when you step out into the main area of your hive, your blood pressure kind of falls a bit. Solix is dressed in his suit again and is staring down Gamzee, who sprawled himself over the arm of the lounge plank. Gamzee is staring right back at Solix with the same intensity, and you could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Great. It's no secret to anyone that your Moirel and your best friend loathe each other. You know they only tolerate each other's presence for your sake, but it's all pretty fucking draining for you. Gamzee seems to be under the impression that Solix is waiting in the shadows to turn you against him, to break you up and steal you for himself. Meanwhile, Solix clearly thinks Gamzee is one bad joke away from homicide, and that anything would be better than you having Gamzee as your Moirail. Solix has gone so far as on several occasions to gently and very earnestly insist that if anything was ever wrong between you and Gamzee, that his and Aradia's place was always open to you, and he'd have your back no matter what. The thing is that neither of them are right. Sure, Gamzee can be pretty unstable, and his temper can snap sometimes, but it's not as if Solix is the picture of stable mental health either. Gamzee's job gets him all the outlet for his physical strength and the experience of danger he needs to be fine. Sure, he's not perfect, but he meshes with your particular needs in a relationship far better than you believe anyone else could. It's not as if you're the easiest troll to be with yourself. As for Solix, yeah, you know that he has a thing for you. It's not a secret, nor is it a secret that you've felt the same way before. But Solix's romantic needs and yours aren't a good fit, and you're not about to throw a lifetime of friendship away for that, and nor is he. Solix wouldn't break you and Gamzee up, and Gamzee isn't about to lose his shit on you either. Neither of them are right, and neither of them are completely wrong, and both of them hate each other and care about you. So here you all are. I'm going to work, Solix says, instead of hello or good morning. Are you sure? I wouldn't think you'd want to deal with people today or anything, you say uneasily. I won't. Hallows me, Solix says simply. Right. Gamzee, would you go get breakfast? I still have to get ready and put clothes on, or else I'm just going to wind up having to deal with you at work, you ask as you walk over to the lounge plank. Gamzee tips his head back lazily, deftly avoiding hitting you with his horns. He has a sense of spatial awareness with them that you could never understand and with your worthless little set. Oh, an errand and clothes? What do I get if I do that? Gamzee says with a lazy smile. Breakfast and no HR complaints, you tell him, catching one spiral horn and tipping his head back further so you can kiss him on the forehead. Uh, Chat, what's the noise problem? Is it just like there's a lot of stuff going around you, or am I like making a bunch of extra like squeaks and stuff? Guess I'll go back to reading. Okay. Okay. Anything for you, little crab man. Gamzee grins and unfolds himself to stand up. He shakes your hand off his horn and walks back to your restive block to change. You shift your attention to Solux. You kind of expected that irritated look he gets around Gamzee, but no, he looks a million miles away, staring at the floor. Thinking about Aradia, no doubt. Did you sleep okay? You ask him softly. Not really. Solux mumbles and looks at you again. We'll get food. I'll take you to work, and then I'll go to my office and try to sort this out for you, okay? You tell him. It's not really a question. It is what's going to happen, but you can at least try to get him involved in it. Solux is still too lost in his own thoughts to really talk much. He doesn't even react when Gamzee leaves to get food. When he's out, you finish getting ready and keep an eye on Solux as you do. Gamzee returns with bagels, and you hand a sweet one to Solux. Not that he seems to really notice what he's eating. You're only halfway through yours before you can't take the mental strain of the situation anymore. All right, let's just go. At least if I can get you to Hal, then I can get started on fixing this for you sooner, and you can talk to him. Come on, you insist, and usher Solux to his feet. Gamzee gives you a lazy wave as you leave with Solux. Solix's work isn't incredibly near yours, being that your work is located in the admin and social work sector of the ship, and he's about midway between that and engineering. Given the size of your ship, that's actually quite the distance, so leaving a little early is smart. You walk into the IT department to find that there's no one at the front desk at all, and the mirrored wall that separates the desk from the actual office just shows you and Solux. You want to actually talk to Hal, so you hit the bell on the desk to get his attention from wherever he is. You know that's not connected, right? Solux asks flatly. What? Why not? You ask. Hmm. If it was people would be ringing us all the time trying to get us to fix their problems, he says with a shrug. That's literally your job, you exclaim. Solux shrugs as if the fact that his job is ostensibly helping people is more other people's problem than his. The door to the back opens, the mirrored surface swinging open to show a slightly surprised looking Hal there. Why are you still in your suit? Hal asks in surprise. Solix mumbles something indecipherable and pushes past him to get into the back and shuts the door after himself. Hal's bewildered gaze goes from the door to you, as if this is now your job to explain. He and Aradia broke up, you say gravely. Did he not tell you that? Hal starts with a grin pulling at the edge of his mouth. You need him to cut that out right away. No, for real. I don't know if he wants me to tell you all the details, but I don't think it's your fault. It's just, yeah. I need to go find somewhere for him to stay now, and he really can't stay on my lounge plank long term. He probably doesn't want to do it short term either. You admit that last part with a wince. Wait, are you shitting me? But they were Hal falters, and you nod grimly. Hal's eyes go wide behind his yellow tinted blue light glasses, and he glances back at the mirrored wall like he can see Solux through it, which, when he looks back at you, Hal looks a little bit ill. Fuck, man, I feel awful. He's staying with you, though? I thought he and Gamzee were perpetually 2 seconds from some kind of Wild West showdown at all times. How's that working? Hal asks, though seemingly the expression on your face answers that. Hal winces and pulls out his palm husk to check it, and then puts it away again. I was going to check with Rose and Dave, but fuck it. If he needs a place to stay, he can stay with us. Hell, I feel responsible for enough that he can stay in my room, and I'll take the lounge blanket until he gets somewhere permanent. It's not like either of them will mind anyway, Hal says. I'll keep that in mind. Let Solix know, too, will you? And look, between you and me, if you think something's wrong with him today, you message me or call me right away. I'll come down here if he needs me. You tell Hal. You grab a post-it note from a stack by the front and write down your work number and your Trollian handle, just in case Hal doesn't already know it. Yeah, of course. Shit, I should go talk to him, Hal says softly and pockets your note. You nod. You can only imagine how guilty Hal must feel about this. It'd be unfair to say that this wasn't anything to do with him, but it's more that his stupid request of Solix revealed a flaw that was already there without anyone knowing. It's not as if that's Hal's fault, but it still happened because of him. Solix didn't seem pissed at Hal at all, so you're pretty sure things are going to be fine there, but you feel better knowing that Hal can contact you if he needs to. Right, I've got to go to work. Go do actual work and find somewhere for Solix to live. You sigh. You leave the IT department and find the nearest elevator to go up to your floor. Then it's a few stops on the train and you're at your department. You shoulder your way through the forever broken door into the somewhat misnamed human resources. Back in the days of the Alternian military, there didn't really need to be any such departments. People were conscripted and did what they were ordered to. There was certainly admin to work out who was going where and all of that, but not really the kind of work that you do these days. Running a military ship and running a ship that's the size of several large cities and filled with ordinary people is an entirely different thing. Sure, some departments that are basically military run just the same, but you're in a finite space and you deal with civilians. You have to allow for people living their lives, running their own companies, as well as maintaining the actual backbone industries of the ship that keep everyone alive. The needed operations of the ship and the free lives of the people in it meet in messy ways, and your job is basically resolving those problems. You walk into your office with the problems you have at hand running through your mind, so much that you don't notice the next problem until it's entirely too late. Carcat, you're late. Rose smiles at you in a way that is both warm and very predatory. Your eyes shift from her to the troll at her side, who looks deeply anxious and clearly wishes he wasn't exactly where he is. Rose, I'm really busy, you sighed. Alright, it's no problem, Doc. I can just... The troll by Rose's side tries to say, it's alright. Carcat is always busy, but he'll be happy to help you. Your problems are important, Zephyros. Remember? Rose reminds the guy who must be one of her patients. You take a deep breath and pinch the bridge of your nose, and then unlock your office and wave them both inside. You check your calendar as you walk to your seat. I didn't have an appointment with you, but what's going on? You ask as you fall into the aged desk chair. Zephyros has been seeing me for a little while, and with his permission, I agreed to bring something up with you. I'm here to support him. He's been having problems with work, and I wanted to get your help on the matter. Rose explains primly and professionally. You look at Zephyros, who is sweating a little and giving you a terrified smile. Your willpower crumbles. You flick your computer on and quickly search up his first name. Between that and his sign, you pick him out immediately. You open up his profile and glance over it. What's the problem? You ask. Rose gives Zephyros an expectant look, and with a start, he begins talking. Probably more because he thinks he's supposed to than he wants to, exactly. Oh, right, well, I work in maintenance, you see, and I've been stuck on this particular route for a while. No one else seems to want it, and it's not like I can even report it or anything, because it's not like I work with these people or anything. It's not even me that's involved. He manages to stay. You nod and wait for him to keep going. Right, well, it's the security department. There's a few of the guys there, and well, they're not great to any of us, which I guess is why no one wants the assignment of cleaning there and doing the maintenance work. There's this bronze girl there. I don't even know her name, but they say awful things to her, and I've told my Moira about it, but he says that the people like him are just like that. Zephyros explains. You squeeze your eyes shut and count to 10. You're doing maintenance on the security and area deck B. Are you talking about one of the officers there, the big blue-blooded? Hold on. You pause and pull a familiar file up and turn your screen. Yes, that's exactly him. Zephyros nods quickly. Zephyros attempted to lodge a complaint with the management and security, and they pulled him out of work for several days so they could run background checks on him. Rose explains. Of course they did. I'm well aware of these assholes. Zephyros, Latiru Esat in particular. Let me just make a call. You give Zephyros a tight smile and pick up your desk phone. You hold it to your ear with your shoulder and quickly bring up Esat's file on your desktop. That asshole has been a particular thorn in your side for far too long. He's nothing but a smug bully who uses his position of power and security to intimidate other people. You've made it your mission with Terezi to ensure that people like that don't stay in security, or better yet, that they don't get in at all. It's not like you can piss off the whole security department. You need to come in when things get genuinely bad or violent. They have a place in making the ship safe, but some people just get off on their power. Deck B security used to be fine, but this asshole is making everything worse and dragging other people into his shitty ways of thinking. You dial his number with angry jabs of your finger and wait as it rings. Security Officer Esat, he answers. Esat, it's Carcat Vantis from HR. I wanted to talk to you about our last conversation with regard to your behavior. With regard to your behavior, you say pleasantly and lean back in your chair just a little. There's nothing wrong with my behavior. People are just too sensitive, Esat hisses, immediately on the defensive. Yes, you mentioned that last time as a way to explain the 8 documented complaints against you. Normally someone with that many complaints wouldn't be working in security anymore, you say lightly. That's because I'm good at my job, Esat brags meaningly. A very bad idea steals over you, and you smile brightly. Rose notices and gives you a look of interest. Is that why the number of cases you've closed this month has been below the ship average? I spoke to... You reach over to your desk phone and cut the call off mid-sentence and place it carefully back on his receiver. He'll call back, you assure Zephyros as Rose's smile gets very wide indeed. Your phone rings. Carcat Mantis, HR, for your record, all calls. You start, but Esat cuts you off immediately. Listen here, you little prick. There's nothing wrong with the number of cases I close. I just give the easy shit to other people. Ask anyone. He hisses at you. I'm sorry we got cut off there, and I apologize again. I didn't say it on a sensitive subject there. You say as politely as possible. Don't get smart with me. You think just because you're Moira's a heavy sailor that you can just do what you like? Yeah, I know about you. Esset growls in your ear. I'm sorry, have you been following me? You ask, well in vain surprise. Like I need to. I can see everyone just as much as you can on your little HR system. So if you think I'm scared of him and that's going to affect anything, you better rethink, alright? He hangs up on you, and the click of the phone is loud in your ear. You shift your seat and open up the file of incoming recorded calls, which, if he'd let you say that, then you would have told him that incoming calls are recorded for records. Ooh. You type a quick email, but it doesn't send yet, but don't send it yet, and then reach for your phone again and hit one of the numbers on your speed dial. It rings once before the other line picks up. Cancri Vantis, he greets you. Cancri, remember I told you about that Otiru Esset before, and you said you should get another chance before you'll actually do anything? You ask. That's not exactly what Cancri sighs, but you keep going. He's harassing other people, just like I said he would, and getting away with it because his matesprit is in your department. I'm reassigning him like I said I would, and I'm going to get him bounced from the ship if he's not improved by the time we meet with another ship. That whole department is going bad, and I'm not dealing with all of them. So go do your sensitivity bullshit courses with the rest of them, and I'm reassigning him. Got it? You demand. Karkat, I'm aware that you don't like the man much, but that doesn't mean he can't do his job, Cancri sighs. Yeah, so you'd think so, except he called up just now and threatened me. Hold on, I'm sending you the file now, you say, and send it off. Also, I noticed that he's not even good at his job, literally below average. That's what you're protecting here, you point out. I can't listen if you're talking. Cancri reprimands you. You sit and wait as Cancri listens to the recording you just made, and sure enough, you hear his little gasp of horror. Cancri has a nasty habit of being too political and denying things unless there's proof, but he can't do something about this, both because it's not open to interpretation, but also because if you were to tell someone else that Cancri heard this and did nothing, then it'd do nothing for his image. I told him to watch what he... No, I suppose my hands are tied. I'll run a course for the department, and I suppose we can work out what to do with him until then. His matesprit won't be happy, Cancri says glumly. Yes, well, if he wasn't chronically an asshole to everyone, we wouldn't have this problem. Also, I told you so stop getting in my way and let me do my goddamn job. You snap at Cancri and hang up without saying goodbye. You turn to Zephyros, who looks terrified of you now. You smile, but it doesn't seem to help. Thank you for that, Zephyros. I've been trying to fix that problem for a while, and don't worry about people thinking you've had anything to do with this. He knows I've been trying to get around my ancestor to deal with him for ages. He'll just think Cancri finally folded. You smile with a wonderful glee of getting to make a problem that's been bothering you for a while someone else's problem. Oh, well, good, I think, Zephyros says hesitantly and glances at Rose. Karkat will do his best to take care of this. You put yourself out there and did the right thing. This situation wasn't your fault, but you've made things better. Try to work through the sheets I gave you between now and next time, and we can talk about the progress you've made. You've done a great job, Zephyros. Rose smiles warmly at him. Thank you. I'll go then, right? Zephyros asks, looking between you and Rose. Rose nods at him and smiles as if Rose hastily excuses himself. When your door shuts, Rose looks at you carefully for a quiet second or two. Did you want something else? I have a lot of shit to do today. You sigh as you pull up the current work you've been focusing on, and then also open up the rehousing portal on the HR site. Rehousing isn't strictly your line of work, despite what people might think. Your job is more in mediation and less in the admin side of shuffling people around the ship. You help people, actually help people, unlike some people around here who share your last name. Well, of course you're busy with. I wanted to talk to you about Solux anyway, Rose says with a wave of her hand. You know about that? You ask in surprise, looking up from your screen to her. Of course, Rose says lightly. How? Did Aradia tell Dave or something? I wouldn't have thought she told you herself, you say with a frown. You can pie Aradia telling Dave, but not Dave immediately blabbing to Rose. Then again, Rose is remarkably good at getting information out of people. So maybe he just cracked. That would have meant that Aradia would have had told Dave last night, which doesn't seem right. And Hal doesn't seem like the type to run to Rose when he should be dealing with Solux in person. So, wait. You look at Rose, who is watching you intensely. You don't know shit, did you? You just baited me, you accuse her. You have no proof. So is there something going on with Solux and Aradia? It wasn't something was it because I don't believe for a second that they're a thing, Rose tuts. You groan in despair at yourself and at her. When Rose wants to know something, she'll find out no matter what. It makes her a great therapist and social worker, but a pain in the ass to deal with in your day-to-day life. You much prefer working alongside her when she uses those talents on people causing problems, and between the two of you, there's a chance to outsmart assholes and help people in need. It sucks when she uses all that on you. Look, this stays between you and me. Promise? You ask. I swear on my professional honor, Rose says, and solemnly nods. Arati and Solix did break up. Not because of Hal, but he sort of inadvertently revealed a bunch of problems. My current problem is that he's sleeping on my lounge plank, and I have to find somewhere new to live before he and Gamzee destroy each other. So, although Hal did offer your lunch plank, so maybe that's going to be your problem soon, you tell her. Rose's eyes widen as you talk, and she considers your words for a moment before speaking. Solux and Aradia are completely over. This isn't just a temporary fight, she asks. I don't see them coming back from this, no. So you see why I have a lot to do today. You hint and gesture to your screen. Well, I think I might just be able to solve all of your problems. Rose smiles as she leans back in her chair and crosses one leg over the other. How? You ask suspiciously. Well, no. Well, after me and my siblings were taken from our home, we were placed in foster care. We were adamant about being kept together, and we had a lot of special considerations that a permanent caretaker needed to accommodate. Rose explains. Your brothers. Dave was basically blind back then, and Dirk and Hal still transitioning. That's why Mr. Egbert was such a good fit. You nod. Dirk and Hal were basically passing when they got moved to your ship as teenagers, but June was still in the process of getting people to stop calling her John, and she inadvertently told you once about Dirk and Hal when she was complaining about her own problems. As far as you're aware, most people know, but it's not like you talk about it ever. Not really relevant to most things. Right, but before then we bounced around a lot of homes, which was not a great experience. Moving in with Dad was great, but as soon as we were a little older, the housing department wanted to shuffle us on so some other family could have a hive of that size. That left me and Dave and June living with Dad, but we had to move, and to very much underestimate the situation, Dave hated it. The only time he moves willingly was when Hal found our three-bedroom hide, and me and Dave moved in with him. Dave hates moving, and he hates living with strangers even more. It's all very traumatic for him. Rose explains. Okay, you prompted. Well, Dave's had this moratorium on us moving or anyone moving out. I want to move in with Kanaya, but if I do that, then there'll be a free room in the hive, and we'll lose the place, which means he and Hal will have to move again or get a stranger as a roommate. Neither is acceptable. June is staying with Dad since she is still studying. Dirk's now married. Roxy's a nightmare to live with, and Jane lives in medical hives with Tanya for their work. To be honest, even if Dave tried, I don't think he could convince Roxy to move because she hates it just as much. So I'm stuck where I am, Rose says. You lean back in your chair and look at Rose carefully. But Hal and Solix are friends, and Solix and Dave are cool with each other. He needs a place to live, and you're willing to swap out because it gets you with Kanaya. God, this Carcat voice is better than it could be, but it's not good for my voice. So Solix gets a place to live, Dave doesn't have to move, and Hal presumably assuages any of his guilt, you conclude. Everyone wins, Rose smiled. And Kanaya is alright with this, you check? Kanaya has been begging me to find a solution to this problem for ages. If we privately make arrangements for Solix, he doesn't have to go through the housing reassignment system, and it all gets done quickly. If Hal feels responsible, I'm sure he'll agree, especially as he offered the lounge point to Solix. The only person who might need convincing is Dave, and I don't think it'll take all that much. Rose assure you. Resume. You tap your claws on the desk thoughtfully, and then turn into your husk dog. You type in Dave's name and see that his crew is currently running exercise in the climbing gym, so if you needed to, you could go down there and talk to him in person. You pick up your phone and dial the number for IT. It rings twice, and Hal's voice fills your ear. Hello, IT, what problem can I help you with? Hal's voice asks pleasantly. It's Carcat. I need to talk to Solux, you say. I can help you with whatever your issue is. What's the problem? Hal's voice persists. No, shut up. I want to talk to Solux and Hal. I know this. Tell me about the autoresponder. You groan. It seems you have asked about Hal Strider's help desk client autoresponder. This is an application designed to assist the general public who refuse to read the emails we send to them or Google basic technology problems without otherwise taking up the valuable time of the IT service desk. The algorithms are guaranteed to be 99% accurate at providing solutions with exponentially fewer amounts of blunt force head-to-desk trauma in service engineers. These numbers are, as I am required to inform you, basically just pulled out of my ass right now, connecting you to a live service desk engineer now. Hal's voice says pleasantly. The phone rings again, this time a good few rings, long enough for you to briefly fantasize about strangling Hal. You fucking brother, I swear. You mutter at Rose, who just smiles at you in silent amusement. Hello, IT, damn it, how can I help? Hal asks, sounding far more stressed out than his program did. It's Carcat. You can get Solix on the phone. I need to check something with him. Also, hypothetically, would you be okay with him living with you if Rose moved out? You ask. Oh, shit, yeah, that'd work. Damn, Rose works fast. Fist bump her for me as congratulations for high-speed mental manipulation. Hal says, clearly impressed. Absolutely not. Give the phone to Solix, he grumbled. I can't. Sorry. What? Why? He's asleep under his desk. Said he was super tiredly because apparently he woke up at one point late last night with Gamzee staring at him, so he's having a nap. I can tell him what you told me, though. Get him to troll you about it when he wakes up. You need to have a talk with Gamzee, but that's a problem for later. Okay, yeah, great, you nod, rubbing your temple with your free hand. We'll do then. All right, later. Hal hangs up on you with a sigh, and you set your phone back in place. Solix is sleeping, but Hal's going to ask him about it when he wakes up, you explained to Rose. That works for me, actually. I was supposed to have a day off in case there were any post-wedding problems that needed dealing with, but nothing came up. I came to see Zephyros as an emergency thing, but I'm a little behind on my own paperwork. How about I go and do that for a few hours, and the two of us can go down to wherever Dave is and talk to him together? Rose suggests, looking at her delicate lavender-faced watch to check the time. He helps Kanaya pick that watch out for her as it happens. You know Kanaya will be thrilled to have Rose live with her. So if this all plays out as Rose is suggesting, then you'll be making a lot of people happier. All right, yeah, you'll do it. You agree to Rose's plan and shoo her out of your office. You have actual work to do, especially if you're going to sneak out for what is probably going to amount to an early lunch to get Dave to agree to this move. You've got a whole bunch of cases going on at the moment. A few social work cases that you've been collaborating with Rose on. They're on your desk because Rose has done her part, and now it's your job to go and get relevant parties to sign off on things. One couple is trying to adopt their friend's child since their friend died in an unfortunate engineering accident, and the other parent of that child died 2 years before that due to illness. The poor troll kid is in the poor kid in question is a troll, and the two people trying to adopt her are a mixed species couple. The normal process of a troll child that did have human parents or a human and a troll parent dying would get placed with a Lucis instead, so now it's this huge tug of war between both sides. Thankfully, you make your living by knowing the right people. The ship might be huge, but all you have to do is know a few of the right people and be on good terms with them, and you can really get somewhere. Like right now, you can see that your contact with the Mother Grub departments and the Lucis affairs has told you who you really need to talk to and what your next steps are. Here are. After that, you have to help someone who's arguing about another business infringing on their intellectual property. And you've gotten in with that because one of the guys you helped one time has a Kismesis in the internship patenting department. You say that it's not what you know, but who you know. The more people you help, the more connections you make, and the better you can do your job. Tankery takes that particular adage to mean that his work will go easier if he cozies up to people far more politically powerful than him, that he can make their lives easier if certain problems like Isat get swept under the rug. It's remarkably easy to get swept up in your work. Yeah, enough that when Solix trolls you a few hours in, you're startled by the sudden time change. Yes, this is why you often work through your lunch without meaning to, and why people try not to book afternoon meetings with you because you get hangry without realizing it. What of it? What about moving in with Hal? I just woke up. I have like half of the story because doing a shit ton of work at the same time. Right. So Rose is suggesting that she move in with Kanaya because they've both been wanting that for ages, and you could have her block. That way you skip the queue for hive allocation by entirely by moving in with Dave and Hal.
would that be something you're okay with? You mean since Dave works with AA and how stupid thing set this all off? Yeah, those are essentially the problems that I can see here. But it would mean that you wouldn't be living alone, which would probably be good for you and make me feel a lot happier about the situation. Not that it's about me. What, are you worried that I'm going to take a long walk out of a short airlock? The security is too high for that, but I'll just up my concern meter here anyway. It's not like it's unreasonable for me to worry about Solux. This is a huge deal. Can you not just trust me here? I know this comes from a good place, but I can't deal with your fussing. Fine, fine. So are you in favor or not in favor of taking Rose walk in her hive with Dave and Hal? It's not actually Hal's fault. I'm not really mad about him. Besides, we're friends, so that's something. You and Dave are, you and Dave are friends. No, you and Dave are friends. We've never hung out on our own without you. I don't have a problem with him or anything. We're just acquaintances or whatever. I don't not like him. You know what? You not liking him is a step from the general population, so I'll take it. Final answer before I go ask Dave if he's up for this. Moving in with them, yes or no? Whatever. So, Lex, I swear to fuck, I'll come down there and beat you with a chair. It's a binary choice. Pick one. Yes, then. Jeez. You're always a bitch before lunch, and I always forget that. Wrong again. I'm a bitch all the time. So fuck you. Carcinogeneticist ceased trolling Twin Armageddon. Carcinogeneticist began trolling Tentacle Therapist. Get out of your office so we can go talk to your stupid brother. I would say which one, since the quality hardly narrows it down much, but then we both know that I know who you mean Dave. Okay, with 2 letters. That would have been way faster, Rose. Same to you. There was a point in your life when that conversation would have gone on far longer, but now you mostly know better. Mostly. You get up, grab your things, and head out of your office. You meet up with Rose in the corridor, who hands you an apple breakfast bar. This is where I'm going to eat instead of asking if you're insinuating that I'm hangry, because no one wins that conversation. You tell her sharply and tear the packaging open. I wouldn't say that. I'd say I will. Rose smiles. She is still smiling when you elbow her. The two of you get the train further along the side of your ship, and then catch the cross line to the starboard side. After that, and a bit of a walk, but eventually you find your way to the climbing gym. As far as you're aware, some insane people do this for fun, but it's the sailors who get first priority when it comes to getting time here. Some sailors, like Gamzee, are specialized in combat, either when dealing with potential hostile situations between ships, or worse yet with pirates. It's not unheard of either for the it's not unheard of either for the fauna on a planet to give people trouble, and his job is very much stopping that from being a problem. Arati is all about working with the geology of the planets that you come to and helping the engineering crew and the automated extractors get resources that previous passing ships have flagged. That's all well and good, and you don't worry about environmental damage when a planet only has a few months before it's gone entirely. Dave's job is, well, technically, he's just a sailor, but that's not really what people call that role. He's a jack as in jack of all trades. He knows enough about most things to be vaguely useful to people, but not so much that he's a specialist that needs to focus on that. So Dave's skill set, along with all the other sailors of his class, is very varied. Go build a shelter, blow that thing up, put an antenna 10 miles that way on a big rock that faces east. In, in this case, is what Dave is presumably training for is climbing work. Just looking at an up at how high he is makes your digestion sac churn. He's not connected to anything as far as you can see, or maybe he is because you can see a rope going behind him, but there's nothing ahead of him. He watches Dave shift, hooking his foot over a tiny little hole on the wall. He gasps as he takes one hand fully off the wall, which, given that he's almost totally upside down right now, seems stupid. He reaches between his legs and pulls at the rope, which the troll underneath him on the ground hastily spools out for him. Dave shifts back and forward before swinging ahead, kicking off with both feet to smack the rope through a glowing ring. Dave hangs by one hand for a second, and then two. Hey, hey, don't stop or you'll lose it, the guy on the rope shouts up at Dave. You squint at him as you try to summon the name to your head. It only appears when you see his quadrant mate further down the room also watching Dave. The guy with the rope is Oz Asdaja, and that's Kanya walking closer with her eyes on Dave. Move it, Skinny! She yells at him, and with a grunt of effort, Dave swings his legs back up onto the wall, and then jams his whole hand in a giant crack in the wall. I think he's gonna get over the overhang with it on, as Daja says with a nod. With my weight class? With my weight class on? Kanya asks, eyebrows raised. Yep. He nods and lets out a little more rope. Hardcat, what's up? Nepetta's voice drags your attention back to the ground, and you see her walking across the gym to you. We wanted to talk to Dave, but I suppose we'll have to wait until he gets down, Rose says for you. Nepetta looks up at him and smiles before turning her attention to you. He's running a test to prove his weight class certification right now, so you'll have to wait a little bit, Nepetta tells you. Technically, she outranks you in general, but especially over her crew, of which Dave is a member. But then again, as HR, you can veto that. You just need a damn good reason, and you don't have one. Not that you feel like doing that anyway. What does that even mean? You ask with a frown and look up at Dave, making achingly slow progress towards the edge of the wall that hangs over the rest. You have no idea how he's going to get over that corner, but it seems like it's going to be much easier when he does. Everyone who leaves the ship is in a weight class, and we need to be able to carry people who are injured or hurt. So right now, Dave is proving that he can carry his own weight up there as well as hauling someone in the weight class that Conil and Jake are in. Gamzee too, actually, Nepeta answers happily. You stare bug-eyed up at Dave as you try to imagine that he's hauling the weight of your gigantic Moirail up with him. Gamzee might be a lanky fucker, but he's dense with muscle, and there's a lot of him. As someone who's woken up when Gamzee rolled over in his sleep and got squished in the process, you're more than impressed. Fuck, 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 ah! The sound of Dave cursing and then a final grunt as he throws his leg over the corner of the simulated cliff. Dave's hands slap on top of the wall. And for all you know, he's still cursing, but there's far too many other people in the gym shouting encouragement up at him. As soon as he's graciously hauled himself over the corner, he starts moving with some speed. As Daja is feeding the rope out to him at a hell of a speed. At least he is until you hear a loud metallic clang and people around break out in a category of cheers. Lean back! As Daja shouts over the noise, the rope in his hand taut now. There's a vague call of "I" from above, and as Daja leans backwards in his own climbing harness thing, you guess his weight offsets Dave's or something, some kind of pulley system too? Lowering! As Daja calls out clearly and starts to slowly let the rope out. He meticulously keeps one hand on the rope at all times, but the whole thing goes through at a consistent pace. Dave walks backwards down the wall until he gets to the corner, and the way he goes backwards without so much as a flinch makes you grimace in fear. You'd think at this point you'd have your hands clinging to the rope and be crying for your leashes, but Dave is just getting lower rooted down almost like he's completely boneless. In fact, he touches the floor with his feet and then melts back onto the floor with a soft thump as the weight vest around his chest hits the ground before his actual upper body does. You did it! Nepeta chirps delightedly. I'd high five you, but I have noodle arms, and thanks to that hand jam, I think I'm a pound of skin lighter. Dave groans. You did very well. Also, Rose and Karkat are here to see you, Nepeta tells him brightly. Dave tips his head back to look at you both, his black and red eyes fixed right on you for a second before flickering to Rose. Don't get up on our account. I just wanted to talk to you about something. Oh, my voice is shot. Give me a second. Don't get up on our account. I just wanted to talk to you about something, Rose says, and crouches down at Dave's side. Okay, I'm gonna breathe. Dave pants and claws at his vest for a bit to try to undo it. So, it's about Solux. Rose starts. We all know about that. Aradia was supposed to join us tonight for social, and she called out. That really sucks for her and Solux. Oh no, it's Nepeta. That really sucks about her and Solux, Nepeta says sadly. Rough break, Dave agrees and grunts as he shrugs out of the weighted vest and heaps himself upright. Good work, as Daja says and tosses him a red bottle of water with a duct tape label around it that has Dave's name in marker on it. The Alternian letters of his name slightly faded over time and showing the silver tape below. Well, the thing is that he now has nowhere to live, and at the moment he's sleeping on Karkat and Gamzee's lounge plank, Rose explains. Dave grimaces and then opens his bottle of water with his teeth and spits the cap into his lap. That ain't a recipe for anyone to have a good time. Are you asking if he can stay with us because of course he can, Dave says, and you feel a little more light-hearted about the relationship between Dave and Solux. As far as you know, Solix is right, and they've never spent time alone with each other, but they've spent what must be hundreds of hours in the same group, and they do talk to each other. Solix is just being pessimistic. You're sure of it. I was actually suggesting that he could have my block, and I could finally move in with Kanaya, Rose says, her tone honest and upfront. You watch as Rose stares her twin down. Dave doesn't seem against it as such, but you can see the way he's chewing the inside of his cheek as he thinks. You know what? Sure, he's cool, and he and Radia have been together longer than even me and Jade, so, I mean, I get it. I'd be crushed too. Besides, if he stays on Gamzee's lounge plank, someone's gonna get maimed. Plus, we keep the place if you swap for. Plus, we keep the place if it's just a swap for you and Solux. If he and Hal are cool with it, and Kanai is fine with you moving over, then I'm cool. Dave nods. No one's getting maimed, you protest, but no one listens. I told her earlier today. She is delighted, to say the least. I can start packing right away, and I'm sure you could move Solux in. Rose smiles. Not that I'm not always delighted to be your free move shit around guy, but Neth kinda owns my ass right now. I know my job is just the most fun, but I am on the clock, Dave points out. No, you're not. You just beat your record, and like you said, you have noodle arms now. Go help pack boxes and move boxes. That's a big part of your job anyway. It's functional training. Besides which, you probably want to move quickly to get Solic's stuff out before Aradia's shift finishes, the pedicist says gently. How about I start packing when you shower and get things together? We can move me out and you can get Solix and Radia's place afterwards, Rose suggests. I'll sign out the dolly so you can move the boxes easier, Nepeta adds helpfully. Dave squints at his boss and sister suspiciously, though both Rose and Nepeta look as innocent as can be. Getting the feeling that I don't exactly have a lot of choice here, but fine, help me up, Dave says with a sigh. He holds his hand out to Nepeta, who hauls him up to his seat. You wrinkle your nose a little at the sweaty outline of the floor from where Dave was just sitting. The sleeveless shirt he was wearing under that sweated vest is drenched too. The idea of an athletic guy sounds nice until you work out how much sweating there is involved in that. And despite what you just watched Dave do and how much weight he just carried with him, he still doesn't exactly look strong. He's not built like Equius, even if he is seemingly stronger than he looks. As if I would ever manipulate you, Rose gasps in offense, and Dave just rolls his eyes at her. Guess since this is all sorted out, I'm going back to work, you announce. Oh, gross. Sitting at a desk. It's so tacky and uncool. I can't believe you'd say such things in my presence, Carcat. Dave gasps in mock horror. You flip him off, and of course Dave covers his mouth with a hand like he's terribly scandalized. How dare you all report you? Oh, I see why you have your job now. It's just you can flip people off with impunity, isn't it? He accuses you gleefully. It's listed as one of the perks of the job, agrees. Well, thank you both, and fuck you both. I'm leaving. Nice seeing you, Nepeta. You're polite to her, at least, and she beams at you cheerfully and waves you off. You return to your office this time, seeing as you don't count the rap that you got to go as company. It's a really sad state of affairs when food counts for company. You get back to work, and for a bit you eat with one hand and type with the other. There's always so much work for you to do, and you know some consider your work boring or soulless. Just look at your earnest childhood friends. Roddy is an archaeologist. Tavros is a vet. Solux works in IT, which isn't massively exciting, but it gives him all kinds of time to code fun things out of hours, and you know he actually does like the problem-solving parts of his job. Nepet is a staff surgeon with the sailors, which means she's charged of a crazy number of people. Kanai is a fashion designer. Terezi's in law. Vriska, well, you don't talk about Vriska. But beyond her, Equius is a goddamn robotics prosthetics doctor. Gamzee is a sailor too, and Eridan and Pfeffery are now off with the Alliance leaders, trying to forge a new era in your post-planetary lives. And here you are, Karkat Vantis, descendant of a revolutionary who died for his cause, and you work in HR. It doesn't sound like anything, but it really is. You can't yell the universe into submission, but you've planted your feet right where you are, and you will yell, negotiate, badger, and harass and press for legislation to help people. Is some douchebag in housing department being a prick to a resident and saying that they damaged some things they didn't, or refusing to fix things? Someone only has to tell you, and you're going to give the right people hell or until who need help are helped. Some creep sexually harassing someone at work, they're going to get the end of your wrath, and if they really get on your bad side, you'll make them go listen to one of Kankry's endless seminars. You like fixing other people's problems. It's way easier than problems that affect you. On that particular note, your mind keeps trying to go back to what you heard about Gamzee, that he was creeping Solux out, watching him sleep, but it's not like you saw it, or that Solux complained to you about it personally. This sort of rumor mill thing doesn't go well, and you'd really rather avoid having to talk to Gamzee about how he treats Solux. Not that that conversation the other way around gets any better. Gamzee can be difficult sometimes. You know his chuckle voodoos can leak out sometimes, which can make him entirely innocent, which can make entirely innocent things seem creepy as shit, and that's not really his fault. Besides, if you ask him and it turns out that he was just getting up in the night to piss and happened to be all voodoo-y when he looked over at Solix, then that'd explain it. Except now you've caused a problem by bringing it up. You really don't feel good about any of this. This is what you mean when you say that others people's problems are easier. You bury your feelings in work and only realize that you stayed half an hour late when you just happened to glance at the clock. The train ride back home isn't any more or less annoying than usual. It's mundane enough that you're thinking of dinner right until you walk into the door of your hive. The door snaps closed behind you and you stagger with dizziness, your breath stuck to your chest. You feel like you're drowning as your blood pressure beats at an off-kilter rhythm. Everything around you is dark, far too dark, and your ears are filled with a voice, low and rasping as it sings out its It's it's just chuckle Buddhist. You're fine. You drag in a breath because you can breathe. It's all in your head and that you can't. The voice, Yamzi's voice, is coming from the ablution block, so you stagger and stumble that way even as the floor seems to tip and sway under your feet. Yamzi! You shout out, drowning out the song from where it's burrowing in your think sponge. Gamzee's head whips around from the mirror, and you swear his eyes are going black around the edges, like an endless darkness drowning out the yellow of his irises. He rushes to you and grabs you. You think you might have been about to fall. I didn't hear you come in. I didn't hear you, Gamzee says soothingly, as the world abruptly starts to right itself. Pulling back, you see that his face is half painted. That must have been why he was at the mirror. He was only halfway done. Fuck, were you singing? Did I imagine that? You ask, not sure or, or what was just the voodoos and what was reality. Yeah, it was nothing. Just a thing, a song from work. Sorry I caught you. Gamzee apologizes and runs his thumb over your cheek. It was an accident, and you thought you were alone. It's You rub at your temples. Your think fudge still feels a little squirmy. Hey, how about we get some food in you? Makes you feel all kinds of better after that. Just let me finish my face. Gamzee suggests as he sets you on the floor and picks up his paintbrush again. Yeah, of course. It's just you and me again. Solix found somewhere to move in, or I guess it was Rose's idea. She's moving in with Kanaya and Dave's moving in with Hal, you explain. He, he's moving in with Kanaya. He's moving in with Dave and Hal, you explain. DMZ snorts dismissively and paints near his eye with a careful hand. Well, that ain't gonna work out well for him, DMZ does. I thought you wanted Solix out of here. Besides, the three of them get on. Everyone wins, you argue. Oh, Solix will be fine. He ain't the one I mean, Gamzee says vaguely. You frown and consider that Gamzee must know very little about Hal, so by process of elimination. You think there'll be a problem with Dave, you ask? Solix and Dave will be like a hive on fire. Don't worry, Gamzee says, keeping still as he lines near his eyebrow, and pulls back to look at himself assessingly. If they're going to get on well, then why did Gamzee say whatever? You're used to Gamzee's ramblings often being nonsensical, and you don't have the energy to chase each vague statement down. You hold your hands out and see that the shaking has basically stopped. You're pretty used to shaking chuckle voodoo's off, mostly by now. It usually happens if Gamzee has a bad dream. It's pretty rare for you to both be awake and have this happen. Where do you want to go, my little old diamond? Gamzee asks as he turns to you with a lazy smile and ruffles your hair between your horns. Hurry, you suggest? And Gamzee gives you a little nod, like he doesn't have any strong feelings either way, and is happy to do what you want. Dinner is nice, and it's only when you're on your way home you get a message on Trollian from Solux. It's just a picture message with a huge open pizza box on the coffee table at the Strider's place. Just in the corner of the picture, you can see either Dave or Tal's hand retreating out of frame with a big slice. You guess they moved in just fine. When you go to sleep, you've entirely forgotten about Gamzee's weird chuckle voodoo episode, but all the same, a frantic and uneven beat rushes through your dreams with vague words humming between your synapses. Hold on, I want to go look at this song and see if I can sing it for you guys. One sec. When I woke up this night, the ship was sinking. The lifeboat is wrecked and the ship is sinking. The lookout is drunk and the ship is sinking. Fire is loose and the ship is sinking. Well then, chapter end. That was fun. Um, how was that for all of you guys? Is there anyone here? I actually don't know if anyone's here, but how was that? It's possible that I am on a stream on my own, but I do not know. Let's see if I can find out. But yeah, that was fun. I hope you guys had a good time. Uh, I don't know. Uh, Anyone in chat? Still no. I guess I'm just going to end stream. I don't know if there are people here anymore, but I hope you all enjoyed. Uh, and I hope everyone has a good evening, and I will see you maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to do this again tomorrow. I probably will have stuff to do, but we shall see. So, thank you and good night.